What's up, guys? It's Crash, and today is a little bit different kind of content than what you're normally used to with the Battlefield updates, some of the FPS industry discussions and stuff like that. We're going to look at AI anti-cheat today. I saw this video yesterday, and it's massive in my opinion. Now, could that be fueled a little bit by some hopium and copium? Yeah, it could be, just because I hate cheaters so much, but this is a little bit of a bright spot moving forward. We've seen the Wiggle that killed Tarkov video that made it all around, and tons of cheaters in the news, and even streamers and content creators getting caught, and it just kind of brings us down. Well, here's a little bit of light. Here's a little bit of a beacon of hope in this video. So I want to talk about it, the implications of it, and essentially react to it. I watched the video yesterday and I thought it was massive. I want to watch it along with you guys. Now, that being said, this is a Crash Reacts video. So I'm going to pause it frequently, add my thoughts to it, some of my questions, some of my hopes, desires, some of my anecdotes in my life, and we're going to watch it together. I'm going to add something to the content. That is my commentary. If you guys want to watch it straight through, I totally get that. The link is, of course, down in the description if you just want to watch it without my dumbass talking over it all the time. Totally get that. So I'll be able to do that. You guys have the comments down below to let me know what you think of this whole thing, and I would just love to kind of do a watch along with you. I got my coffee, so we'll definitely check it out. This is done by Basically Homeless. If you're not familiar with him, you should be. I'm sure you are. He does some amazing, incredibly entertaining gaming and tech content, talking, kind of exploring the world of hackers and cheaters, and also doing some really neat and crazy things. Incredibly smart, great content. Can't say enough things about his content. Something that I aspire to be one day on my channel. But as it is, I think it's important when you do a react video to actually react to it, not just sit here in silence and watch it together with you guys. So I'm going to talk about it. The other thing we'll get to in a little bit, he does an ad read. I think that's another thing that's important when you do react content, is to watch the ads. That's the least you can do about that. So we'll get through that. And yeah, I just want to get into it and see what you guys think, because I think this could be huge, and you guys can tell me if I'm off my rocker or not.
1 out of every 3 players in an online FPS game are cheating.
He's wiggling, look.
Connects to your PS5. It's literally just connecting to the remote play.
And then in other games, it's way more than that.
What does this revelation mean for the future of gaming in general?
So it's an AI aim.
So I wanted to stop here first. An AI aimbot. And basically what this is saying, I know it's just the intro and it's moving really fast, is there are allegedly, I'm not familiar with them, you guys let me know if you ran into any of this kind of stuff. There's AI aimbots that actually feed into the input, and it works on everything. They even said it works on Stadia. So even if you're cloud gaming, it can be used to input, run it through a computer. It reads your screen, so it's undetectable. And we'll see later, there's also some parameters to make it look human-like. The first part of this video, I'm not gonna lie, it shook me, okay? I was down bad.
Yeah, AI and
Works in any game.
They sell these by the millions.
And it's not just your little brother either. At every level of the industry, from pros to streamers, cheating is rampant.
And it will become a real job to cheat in his game.
So what Charlie's talking about here, we covered this on the scope on the podcast, is when Doc said there was going to be an actual in-game item worth $100,000 on the blockchain in crypto in his game that you could try to extract with. And pretty much everyone was like, the cheaters, dude. What are you even saying? Like, cheating. And what Charlie was saying in that video is like, it would become a full-time job if people could make 6 figures off of one cheat at one time in one day.
It's a full-fledged business.
Are you getting old?
Yeah.
Is gaming changing? Or is it that rampant cheating is not fun?
Over you.
So in the land show, sorry, I'm pausing a lot, but I thought that was really important too. That is the mental kind of flow chart that I worry that people go down. Me especially, as becoming an old gamer, like if I start to get beat a lot, is it because I'm getting old, or is it because of cheaters? And I hate that you have to choose, you have to reason with that, and that cheating is even an option. And then I worry that people who chalk it up to cheating will start to think, oh, everyone's doing it, so it's okay for me, and it will just continue to grow like an epidemic of bullshit.
A year ago, we set out to use AI with one goal in mind: saving FPS games. We're ready for you to submit
So
your
we're using
clips
AI
to
for
help
good.
train our model. What you're about to witness in this video is the solution. The solution to cheating in online gaming.
He's calling it a solution.
To help fund this project through the form of sponsoring this video is Opera GX. They agreed the more views and downloads Opera GX gets through this video,
this guy's name is Basically Homeless.
The project straight up.
Probably
so
not
just
even
by being
homeless.
here,
Probably not
you're
even
helping.
really
Thank
homeless.
you. As you guys
Looks like
know,
a nice
I
house.
download a lot of sus bus programs.
Individual
It's opening very fast.
But he does a lot of
network
like he'll let hackers
getting used.
try to
Like
hack
my
him,
browser
install
sending
viruses.
Bitcoin to
He has
the
some really
ether.
funny
I don't know.
content.
I'm scared.
But what I can do in the Opera GX control thing here is I can actually limit the amount of network that's being used by
This
the
would actually
browser.
be
So, yeah,
huge
if I'm
because
getting hacked,
when I'm
it's gonna
uploading
be
a
slow
YouTube
hack.
video, I
It's gonna
can't
take you
game
some time,
because
brother.
it
And on
takes
top of
up
that,
all the
you can limit
bandwidth.
the amount of RAM that Opera GX is using.
Bruh, look at this.
I might have to
From,
check
like,
out
no
Opera
means.
GX,
You get
actually.
3 tabs open,
And
and
you can
it's all
support
over,
the
man.
fight
And the
against
CPU limiter.
cheaters.
Anything to stop the potential of micro stutters in a game, because if I get micro stutters, I get a bad attitude. And if I get a bad attitude, I pee on the couch.
Like a dog. No more peeing on the couch with Opera GX.
You've also got GX Corner, which is basically like a tailored homepage.
Drives
There's
a hard
fresh gaming
bargain.
news, current deals you might be interested
keep
in, as
passing
well
up.
as like a release calendar for upcoming games.
By the way, if you use my link in the description, it'll show you my last 10 videos straight there in the browser. Oh, yo, look at that. So you don't have to miss them, because I wouldn't want you to miss them. And ayo, they made me a wallpaper, boys, straight in the browser. Use my browser, and I'm looking at you.
This thing's very customizable. A bunch of Opera add-on wallpapers you can just add just like that.
And it's on
Opera's
mobile.
pretty
Opera
funny on
GX your
Twitter,
phone.
do you know
So if
that?
want
I should
to
check it out, maybe.
Support this project of using AI to save FPS games.
Then get Opera GX. Use my link below. Seriously,
Ads.
You do your thing. And
Why
you do it
YouTube
well.
Premium, Crash? What's your
Now-
deal?
in
Sorry.
this specific scenario,
Times are
for
tough.
one
Money's hard to come by.
one time only, installing Opera GX will help stop cheaters in FPS games.
Do a Battlefield
And
clip.
thank you, Opera GX, for sponsoring this video.
So let me be straight up with you guys. Let me just come clean, okay? I have done steroids. I've never told anyone this. I've never really explained it this way, but I did steroids. Or at least I thought for sure they were steroids. So when I was 14, I wanted to be jacked out of my mind, man.
Everybody
I wanted
does.
to look like a bunch of rocks saran wrapped together and be able to like bench press a car. And in combination with that desire, my frontal lobe was the size of a walnut. So I got on eBay, I typed in
Typical
steroids,
teenage
bought something
problems.
sketchy, got shipped from China, and then I ingested it. No one
Dude.
ever found out. I wasn't thinking about the consequences. So I'm
Dude.
sitting there playing SOCOM.
Dude, never ever, like, you guys know this. Everybody knows this. Ingestible steroids will literally melt your liver in like months, I feel like. So bad.
With the itchiest nipples
is
you've
so,
ever
so bad.
seen, man. And I was real confused. I thought I was going to start like lactating. Even though no one's ever found out until now, I didn't
Dude, that's
actually get
rough.
away with it because the consequences were that I didn't know with certainty that I wasn't going to start growing lady parts.
Nipples were itchy, man.
Point is, you can
That's
take a
so
shortcut to
bad on
something,
your
but
body,
there will be a
dude.
consequence somewhere, somehow, eventually. What the
So I've had a problem with workout supplements before myself. Nothing like this. I'll just tell you guys really quick. If you guys have ever taken beta alanine, it's an amino acid, and it really helps. It goes along with creatine to enhance like muscle energy. So it just helps your body make ATP so you can work out longer and your muscles don't get fatigued as long. Minor effects, but it's something that I've taken at the gym for a long time. But if you guys aren't aware, it can start firing off some nerve synapses and stuff when you take it, and you can get like a beta alanine burn. You can get like tinglies or just like a little bit of a burn, really slight on like your earlobe tips and stuff like that. Everything I've read says that's normal and okay, so whatever. Well, I used to get these sample packs from where I used to order supplements, and I got a C4 pre-workout. If you guys ever seen a C4, and it didn't list the beta alanine on there, which it has a shitload, but it wasn't on the sample pack. So I added my own beta alanine to it, and then I took it with the pre-workout. So I had like triple the dose of beta alanine, and my face was melting off my skull, and I thought I died. So I've had some gym supplement issues myself. I haven't taken any sketchy Chinese oral steroids, but I did look like the guy in Raiders of the Lost Ark when they opened the tomb and his face melted off. Yeah, I thought that was me.
those consequences will look like, I think is now up to us somewhat. So cheating in online FPS games is the worst it's ever been right now.
The wiggle
on
that killed
every
Tarkov video.
system, console
this stuff makes
included,
me sick.
at every level.
Just
Around
seeing it, man.
30% of players in any given game.
So this is a big thing, and we'll see if he can prove it. I have my doubts about the whole 30% of cheaters, 30% of people
This
are
is
cheaters.
basically
Like how
the
you can
final
even
form of
come
the
close
AI
to
cheats
proving
that
that.
single-handedly killed FPS.
because I see he talks about how hard they are to detect, And then they go on to say, just a little criticism of the video, how hard they are to detect, and then goes to say it's definitively 1 in 3 people cheating. But then you just said it's like really hard to tell.
Games
So
about a year
how
ago.
can
this
you be
program
sure about
essentially
that?
acts as like a mediator
Should say
between remote
about
play
1 in 3.
and the game. All it uses is a live stream of your game. So as long as you have an internet connection that's like 2 megabytes per second, one, it enables mouse and keyboard on console. But what's worse is you can essentially plug in an AI aim assist. It can use AI to read the screen, find the enemies, send input back to whatever system you're using.
So I think this uses the same kind of stuff as like Google Stadia and some of those cloud gaming services with minimal lag. It sounds like you kind of run a computer. Yeah, and it works on cloud gaming. Yeah, so they're talking like Google Stadia and Xbox Game Pass and all that stuff on Android and things. Crazy. And console. Did you catch that too? They gloss over a lot of really big things. Just because you're on console doesn't mean you're safe. Running a computer or running this software in between your inputs, it will read your screen, a stream of your screen, and put the inputs into the game if people want to go that
Console
far.
included, and then aim at the enemy for you.
So it's basically just acting as your remote play controller.
So yeah, you're running your controller into the PC, and it does it for you.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
And it gives you the
nuts.
feed.
To get access to it. The Godly knew. He went in and he infiltrated this website. He made the cheaters love him. He convinced them to like him so that they would give him the cheat. It took months. I'm just kidding. He paid $5. So
$5. $5, man. And there's hundreds
for
of
a few
places to
bucks
get them.
or
I'm not gonna lie, guys. The first part of this video could take us to a very dark place, and by the end of it, we're probably going to be in
a
shambles.
free version that comes with a virus, you can pretend you're better than everyone else. This can never be detected by an
No capture card, no special device needed, no second PC. Battle I will never see
anti-cheat
it.
scanning what's
What does it
running
run
on
on
the
then?
system, because all of this is running only off of watching the game the same way you do.
Or you see
Right, I
this
get
rich
that, but like,
2 for $7.
how does it operate your controller? I don't understand that. I believe that it's a thing, because I mean, it would be huge, like thousands of people.
So
paying
this is an
$5.
8-person free-for-all where all of us have cheats installed and one person is chosen at random to enable their cheats, but no one knows who it is. And we're all trying to guess who's the person that has cheats enabled.
Someone's a hacker right now?
Yep.
Someone's a hacker?
Someone should be, at least.
So someone's cheating in this custom game.
Oh my gosh. Let's go.
I just spawned in.
2 back-to-back? Okay, let's...
Yeah, man. I'm cracked out of my mind.
Keep in mind, we have a point system going here, and we're trying to not get detected as the hacker by the other players. Also, these are the devs that are so graciously donating their time to work on the Waldo project for all of us. I'm linking the Waldo Discord and a few other things. Go give them a big thank you.
So I'm trying to like analyze this and see. I can't really tell. Some of them look sus, but you can't. Like, it could just be a good
So
CS:GO
take a look
player.
at the footage. See if you can guess which one of these angles is someone using aim assist.
Okay. The top right one or top left one, he goes past and then comes back.
I'm thinking
The top right one, he hits it up.
Yeah.
The other two, he hits like right
Oh,
on.
dude, that's a bad idea, boys. I just left this part in so you guys would know it wasn't me and that I'm just cracked out of my mind. I'll be honest, dude. I just had to double check to make sure they were off.
Let's see, what does he say? My aimbot was not enabled here, as you can see here, but I cannot tell you with absolute certainty that it wasn't bugged and enabled with the box unchecked. I was hitting all my shots, but it felt sus. Dude, the person cheating can't even tell for sure if they're cheating or not. How the fuck are you supposed to see it, dude? Like, this video puts me in shambles, man, for the state of FPS games right now, man.
I'm just saying. So
I was hitting all my shots, but it felt sus. Maybe that's the nature of having cheats installed. At recipe for imposter syndrome. At some point, I will scan the footage with Waldo and release the details. Interesting. So yeah, that's the first allusion to what's actually going on. They're working on a way to upload your footage and to tell if someone's cheating or not.
Make your guess. You're left with a 1 in 3 chance of getting it correct.
It
The
scans
answer
it.
will be at the end of the video and in the description.
So what do you guys think of the three? It's hard to tell.
Just saying. So make your guess.
They all
You're
look
left
really
with a 1 in
similar.
3 chance of getting it correct.
I don't think it's the
answer
bottom.
will be at the end of the
It
video.
looks like
and
top
in the
right to
description.
me. Like
Point
he-
is, you
he
can't
hit
tell.
off
And if
the
you got
rip.
lucky, there was a 1 in 3 chance, kid. That's how likely it is to run into a cheater if you play one game today. But
There he says the 1 in 3 cheater. I'm not gonna sign up for that. I'm not gonna sign off on that.
what we can't see, an AI can with certainty.
To our human eyes, this just looks like really good aim.
They're designed to
So humanized AI aim assist. So it has a humanized factor where it makes it look natural. Dude. And then he also tries to say, he says also that it's 100% certain. How can you say? I don't know how
have
we can prove
smoothing
that
and
either.
look natural, look like human aim.
But to a trained AI, the difference is night and day. The best way to describe
So
it
that's
is like
off.
having a trained medical physician try and tell the difference between someone that's really jacked on steroids and then like a dog. There's
Velocity, acceleration, smoothing, crosshair relative to enemy position assessment. Chance of aim assist. So that's
no mistake.
It
Couldn't just a
introduces
really
variances into the
advanced
cheat
AI
where you like
cheat
you
go
missed it.
undetected with lots of
It's just
human
basically
data?
like aim
No,
assist
this is
with
a
a mouse
permanent solution
in games
to
that
end
don't
the cat
support
and
it.
mouse forever. And I will explain why I'm getting there.
a lot of people ask, what about ESP?
Okay.
What would you
Catch ESP. What is ESP? Seeing enemies through walls. So ESP wall hacks.
say is the most distinguishable trait
And this is the guy that made the video,
to tell
the
if
Tarkov
someone
video.
is cheating based on your experience of, like antagonizing them in game?
I mean, there are a lot of things.
This is Goat, aka Tim. He wanted to know just how many people were cheating in Tarkov, so he installed cheats with the intentions of finding the cheaters.
Kill to death ratio, what gun they have out, how much ammo they have, everything with this cheat.
This
Game
video's
sense
worth to
is
watch,
something
too, if
that
you
is a
haven't
really
seen it.
big deal in a game like Tarkov. How to move around the map, where to look, how to set up your gun.
So what is it that he used to distinguish if someone was cheating or not?
I can't believe it.
No. Before the wiggle, as funny as that is.
This duo was the highest KD that I came across that I think was legit. If you looked at them on the radar, they were just constantly looking around. Their little things were just going everywhere. And they were checking areas where just no one was there. It's painfully clear that these two Chads are legit. How refreshing. And then you'd watch these other guys that have like 20 something KD, just running straight into a building, straight to a jacket to get their item, straight out.
Yeah.
And straight a different way. And when you looked around that area on the map, there was nobody that could kill them.
And they just already
See, that's where we're at. So they're calling cheats on this guy, those guys that just run in, grab the loot, run out. Is that possible? Is it even likely that they're cheating? I would say yes. Is it 100% proof? No. And should you be able to add that to the tally? I don't think so. It could be explained. If it can be explained, maybe they're in a slower server. Maybe they've already got some kills, or maybe they just where people spawn in the same place in Tarkov every single time. There are fast loot runs, like speed runs. If you get the right spawn, if you're close to a place where loot spawns, that people will run to loot and out. Inject like SJ6s and some of the stimulants where you don't get tired and just sprint the entire way, grab it and get out. That happens in the game.
already knew that, so they didn't have to look around.
He was looking at human behavior. Do we know of anything that can kind of detect human behavior?
I don't know. Is there any technology out
I don't think I want to pause and look at all these, but I would like to at some point.
there that can kind of look at human behavior and see if it's human or not? I don't know, guys.
So they're saying, basically what he's saying is there's a lot of literature and research out there about
There is an extremely
detecting
distinguishable
if humans made it or
behavior between
AI
someone
made
using
it. So
cheats
it's kind of
and
like
someone not using cheats.
setting
So
up
we
this
thought
AI
instead
versus
of just
AI war
aim
trying to
cheats,
detect each
what
other
about
itself.
an AI that can detect everything? An AI that analyzes player behavior and determines if they're cheating based on how they're interacting with the game with over 99% accuracy.
This is what
Prove
will
it.
save FPS games.
Now I realize that sounds like a pipe dream, like an impossible solution that's years away, another hopeless dream of one-day gaming with no cheaters on.
So Husky was the one with cheaters in the first one. I think that's important to note. I did not think it was him at all because I saw the crosshair. You guys saw it too. You saw the crosshair go past the head and then have to overcorrect and come back, which is common in CSGO and other like reaction type shooters like this. You go past, overcorrect. That's mouse arm aiming to a T. You use your elbow for the big flick and then your wrist to adjust, right? Like get as close as you can and then adjust with the wrist. Like that's human aiming. So that also shakes me to my
Online,
core.
and here's the twist. It already exists.
So here's the first time they're talking about AnyBrain. I think is a anti-cheat, AI anti-cheat that developers can use now if they choose to.
Someone made it, and it wasn't us. For days, I was tearing my hair out. Why is this not in every single
Great
game?
question,
What is
Mr.
going
Homeless.
on? I had so many theories. Game developers don't need good anti-cheat. Everyone keeps playing. Cheating in games, this whole other industry, is stimulating the game. As a game dev, why would you stop it?
There is
That he just nonchalantly took a massive shot at like AAA, AA, and large multiplayer gaming devs.
technically financial reward for them if the cheaters keep buying accounts.
AI anti-cheat exists.
You mean that's a massive shot. So what he's saying is that game developers are knowingly allowing people to cheat so they get banned and have to buy more accounts. He's just saying that. He's also saying like us as first-person shooter players know there's cheaters and continue to play, continue to buy the game. So two things. There's no financial incentives for the developers to spend the money on this technology to put it in their game because they're getting our money regardless. That's one thing he's saying. The second thing he's saying is it's a huge industry. He could be hinting at collusion where he talked about how large of an industry anti-cheat was, but he is also saying at the very minimum, when people get banned, people have said this in Tarkov quite a bit, when people get banned, that they'll buy new accounts and the game developers make more money. Crazy. Like that's a huge shot.
Are not using it. Luckily, the truth was the simplest answer.
All right. Yeah, let's get some hopium going.
Early January 2023, we started to implement it in big games. And so it's starting from now. It's happening as we speak.
This is the CGO and CEO of AnyBrain, the AI anti-cheat that detects everything. How does it distinguish between someone that is say using like an ESP in a game versus someone that isn't?
What we do is every player is providing data about how it is possible to perform the games. So let's say you have a reaction time when you find an opponent and you move to there. There is different cognitive skills that we apply when we are playing a game.
Yeah.
At what we can extract from these behaviors is these cognitive skills that are being applied on a specific moment. They are not human.
So it's learning constantly. Is that okay?
Yeah, exactly.
And so what percentage of people would you say are cheating?
So this AnyBrain anti-cheat, AI anti-cheat is learning off of, how do they know if it's learning off legit players or AI players? That's one thing I don't know. And I'm assuming they are giving it known gameplay of non-cheaters. I would hope so, to learn. And it's learning like what humans can do, like some of the best humans, how they play the game. And like if the reaction time is legit or not.
We always start with a very high threshold, meaning that we do not necessarily catch everybody, but everybody that we're catching, we're 100% sure.
That's smart. So they're starting out with a really high threshold to be able to get flagged as a cheater. That's really smart because the last thing we can do, I think the worst possible scenario in this are false bans. Like false bans, having some cheaters in a game is better than people getting banned falsely, in my opinion. The ramifications of that, especially if a content creator, are too big.
We usually see between maybe 10, 15, 20% of players that are cheating. We are fairly certain that the phenomenon is much higher.
So they're actually catching 15 to 20% of players in this game. So I don't know if he said it yet, but he will say that this is actually in a game.
Than that.
They don't say which
again,
one.
That's why we created, Andre created AnyBrain.
My kind of estimation based on a bunch of different numbers was around 30% are using something to improve.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're thinking along the same lines here.
And they're under NDA, so they couldn't tell me exactly which game, but they had data to back up these.
So this is talking about fraud detection. Average player, man, I don't know. You could average players, you could talk about 110,000. You could probably figure out what that game is. There's not that many games with 110,000. 142,000 players online, 5,000 fraudulent players. Where are we at? That's real time. Okay, so that's real time. That's caught. Yeah, see, I think some of the numbers could be a little bit skewed here. It catches smurfing too, which is huge. That could clean up a lot of stuff with ranked playlists and people trying to smurf. And I think they'll get into more of that a little bit later. But That number is a less than 1/3 by a fair amount. So is this number. So I don't know. That could just be because their threshold, like they said, is really high. It has to be fairly blatant before they'll call it a flag. There's some sus players maybe that they're not banning.
Cheating, what we need also is multiple moments that have a very high probability of being somebody using a namebot. So a pro will have very few of these moments because they are just very good, right?
Yes.
But in order for us to make that validation actually get flagged of you using, let's say, an aimbot in the game, that means that we would have make moves that have a very, very high probability of being aimbots and doing that multiple times.
So that what they're saying is really, really good players can have aimbot type moments, but it has to be repeated and similar like movements and things to be able to consider cheating. So you can still have.
So let's say
like I worried about that too. Like if I have just like occasionally it happens. I'm still old, but it happens sometimes. If I have like the flick of my lifetime, is it going to be flagged or not?
I'm only using a very small amount of humanized aim assist. Is this something that you think your system would be able to detect?
Yeah, so well, first, a lot of people is using that small adjustment that is make it invisible on a video, or if I watch.
That's what's crazy, and that's what's scary and shook me about this whole video. One of the biggest cheats that people are using is aim assist, humanized slight aim assist. And that's the biggest problem with cheaters. I don't think the biggest problem with cheaters are the blatant cheaters with walls that do like the death sprinkler and kill everybody on the server or stuff like that. It's the closet cheaters. It's the ones that work hard at hiding it and basically having this small adjustment running in the background. It's not a level playing field and it's nearly impossible to catch. And these guys are saying they can catch it, which is huge. Yeah, I'm hopeful for this technology. This video was like a double-edged sword. At first, like it opened my eyes to there's a humanized AI aim assist that people could be using and not being caught.
Watching the stream is so difficult because the difference is on human eye it's almost impossible to catch. But the way we interact is still impossible to make it as a human.
Can you expound a little maybe, or maybe help me understand just a little better?
Yeah, well, let's say that you are just adjusting a few pixels.
Yeah.
The way you move with this adjustment, it will be non-natural timing that is not human. Even if in our eye it looks human.
So I was saying that clip where they swung past the head came back. When the time it locked on his head, the enemy player moved. There was a micro pixel adjustment that stayed center mass on the head. I think that's what it's detecting.
But on pixel level, but also on these patterns, it is
pixel
not
level.
So that's why we can catch it. People say, "Oh, he was cheating." I'm sure because it is impossible to aim on that way. Sometimes it's just lucky, or you are really good. So it's difficult for people to understand, and there is a lot of false claims about, oh, he was cheating or no, because he's so good player, it's impossible. But here, looking just for these patterns on pixel level, we can understand this.
So he's saying they can see it on a pixel level, not with your naked eye.
Someone using a humanized aim assist, it would be able to detect that that's happening.
The usual behaviors, like let's say somebody using an aimbot on Warzone, actually real time plus 5 minutes in order to flag somebody who is using that.
To detect someone in real time can take as little as 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Exactly.
Wow, that's really cool.
It felt almost like I was in a dream.
That is cool. Like, man, I'm so hopeful for this technology. I really hope you guys are too. The biggest downer about the whole thing, and then we'll hit some hopium here at the end of the video. The biggest downer about the whole thing is I don't know where you guys are with like FPS games and stuff. I used to compete as like a competitive shooter, shotgun shooting, sporting clay skeet, trap shooting, clay targets, and traveled around to different shoots, competed for money and things like that. And I miss competing. It got too expensive for me. It got too expensive for me to continue to train and travel. So, but I still have that competitive itch. So when I come home, I can sit at my computer, I can play Rainbow Six Ranked, I can play Search and Destroy in COD, I can run around on Battlefield and see how many kills I can farm, and I can feel good about competing against other people. When I'm out on the course and shooting, everybody's shooting the same targets, no one can really cheat in real life, and I thrive on that competitive integrity sometimes, and just constantly having questions if someone is cheating or not, or if something was legit. I don't know if I'm getting better. I don't know if I'm getting worse. Because you question everything, and just not having that level playing field in gaming, it's just such a sore like such a bruise on something that would be a great way for people to scratch that competitive itch, economically. Staying at home, I can play games with my friends, stay in touch, and compete and try to get better. But just always having that question in the back of my mind sucks. I hope that made sense.
I was gonna wake up.
I just wish I could compete and know at home and ranked and try to get better and know everybody is on the same playing field.
This will happen in the coming months. We are fairly confident that something's going to happen, something's going to click in this year.
But it got even better.
Nice ad placement. That's a clutch ad placement.
With smarter, more efficient routes.
For sure.
So you can deliver more value to your customers.
Everything's going to get better.
Reliable. Perfectly
this is a long one.
The United States Postal Service. Men's Warehouse.
If I do more React content, we'll buy YouTube for you.
Course is to create the player profile
for what we call identity photos.
What they're talking about is a biometric profile, a profile as distinguishable as your thumbprint or your face.
So this will need the baseline of 2 hours because it's unique to each and every one of us as gamers.
On how you play the game. This means that once you get banned, it's not as simple as creating another account. If you create another account, the AI detects your biometric profile. Every account you make will be banned. There's no hardware ID, it's you. You will be permanently banned from the game with no chance of ever playing it again.
We're fairly confident that some things are about to change.
Is that unique enough? Really? I would love to know more about that too. So what they're saying is it can read how you play, create a bio profile on how you play. Do you guys feel okay about this? Again, 100% we're back in the cat and mouse thing. They're saying it's not a cat and mouse thing with cheaters anymore because this can catch everything. It's going to be an AI versus AI cat and mouse thing moving forward, I feel like. But what they're saying is they build a profile that is unique to your player no matter what motherboard you're playing on, no matter what IP address you're playing from, no matter what account you're logged into. The anti-cheat can tell it's you based on how you move, how you interact with the game, your reaction times, and a bunch of alleged, I'm assuming, different parameters. So you have your own like almost fingerprint biometric profile of how you play video games. So even if you try to spoof everything, they can still tell it's you. Crazy if they can do that.
The implications of this are insane, especially if the game has a replay system.
If you have ever cheated and the data is saved server side, you are then able to be caught at any point in the future. If you cheat, you will be caught. It's just a matter of time.
The biometric fingerprint of a pro player or streamer could be seen on an alt account that was hacking a year ago or last week.
So yeah, you could start to see people that smurf and spoof, and some content creators might be in trouble.
Or currently. Now, I don't know if these things will be done with this data, but I can tell you that FPS games, all online multiplayer games, are saved. Now, the Waldo project is different. It plans to put this power of knowing in your hands. A way to know if any player is cheating simply by scanning the gameplay footage, laying bare the truth, and leaving the effects up to us. We now confirm it's possible, and in fact, need your help to make it a reality. A full technical update of the Waldo.
So I want to check this out. I want to watch some of this guy's videos. Give this guy a follow if you're interested in it. Essentially, how I understand what they're doing is they're making a Discord and a website where you can upload recorded footage and it will analyze it and tell you if the person's cheating or not. Which I don't know how that'll work without having the baseline stuff.
Is available on Recon Samurai's channel.
I think the glory days of online FPS games are not behind us, but are ahead of us. And if you're one of the 1 in 3 people that are cheating in online FPS games,
fuck you.
I got one question for you.
That's all I would say.
Are your nipples getting itchy?
Oh, I was way off. But anyway, guys, yeah, check that out. Check out these people. I'll do my best to find all the links and have them in the description. Go check out Basically Homeless everywhere. I know it's kind of silly of me to think that you know about my channel and not his. I know I'm not saying that at all, but please give him some traffic. Share his video around, not mine, and just get this out there because I think it's cool. I'm hopeful for it. Yeah, and I appreciate you guys watching so much. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you made it to the end, you're an absolute legend. If you like content like this, I would love to do more of it. Hopefully I did okay. I'm new to React type content, but I just thought this video was too big to pass up. Thank you so much. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of all this stuff, and we'll definitely keep our eye on it. I want to know more about wall division. I want to know more about AnyBrain, and we're going to try to learn some more about it. If I come up with anything, I'll definitely make another video, because I'm really hopeful. I'm hopeful for this. This had a lot of ups and downs for me. I hope you enjoyed it. Cheers, guys. We'll see you later.